Hey, Miles here, milesbeckler.com. In this video, you're going to learn the 5 reasons why following the greedy gurus is actually keeping you broke. And then at the end, I'm going to help you understand how to identify the greedy gurus so you don't fall into these traps. Ready? Let's jump right in. So number 1 is misaligned incentives, okay? So a greedy guru actually doesn't want you to achieve your goal. That's when they're not able to keep selling you more things and when they aren't able to keep inventing new reasons that you need to buy their next thing that they constantly create. You see, if a greedy guru gives you the actual solution that you're looking for, if they actually help you get the goal achieved that you seek to achieve, then they can't sell you anything and their little scheme is up. So what they do is they give you part of the information. They give you enough to get you into motion, but then there's always that next thing that needs to go on there. And that's number 2, is that they keep launching new products because it has to be by definition incomplete. They can never give you the complete solution that you seek because then you won't be a lifelong customer and their little greedy guru game is up. So they're launching product after product after product. It's a copywriting product, and then it's an ad product, and then it's a funnel product, and then it's a coaching product, and then it's a this product, and it just on and on and on. And they make you believe that the reason why you haven't yet been successful yet is this one thing here. So now I've got another course for you there. And then you buy that course and you go through that course. Oh my gosh, well, the reason why you're not yet successful is because of this thing here. And then they sell you that course. Do you get what I'm saying here? You've probably experienced this path and this process, and you maybe don't yet realize that this is 100% by design, okay? So they actually built this purposefully to create this perpetual, habitual needing to purchase their next thing. And that's where number 1 and 2 really are kind of problematic. Number 3 is that they're conveniently leaving out how difficult and potentially long the learning curve is. You see, the greedy gurus need to make their system, their magic bullet, their silver bullet, they need to make their shiny object sound like it's the easy button. And what they do is, number 1, they ignore how difficult the learning curve is because everything new that we take on in life has a learning curve or multiple learning curves with it. And then the other side of what they potentially do is they omit parts of their story. Now, my story here on YouTube, so I started a YouTube channel from 0 and I grew that YouTube channel to making $10,000 per month within 9 months. So a greedy guru would have packaged a course around that and said, here's the secret to generating 10 grand per month from a YouTube channel in 9 months. But the truth is that I started making money online in 2003. It took me 6 years to go full-time, 7 years to go full-time in 2010. And then I spent 6 additional years full-time understanding how algorithms work, how search marketing works, how video marketing works, how literally every aspect of the web works. And those years, it literally was about 13 years before I ever made my first video. So a greedy guru is going to tell you the super secret to how they created massive results in just 9 months. But the honest marketer out there, the marketers who have morals and ethics, they're going to have to talk about, or they're going to choose to talk about the entire journey, because it is the entire journey. And that's what's missing from a lot of the sales letters. And it's because they really have to kind of conveniently leave out these aspects of how difficult it is and how long it actually takes, or they can't sell you their super ultra shiny fancy funnel hack secret that is the ultimate 30-day push button passive income. But it's all a lie. They forget to tell you that they've been working on this stuff for 10, 15 years, that they bring all this depth of experience, and that's why they had the outlier result that they're actually selling everything on. Number 4 is that they sell you what used to work. Now, this is one of the most common models, and you see it all the time, whether it's people selling like how to do Kindle books, how to do Audible books, FBA stuff. So they get into a space and they figure out one little thing that works, and then they execute that strategy over and over and over and over again. And then the strategy stops working like it used to. So they take their data, they take the big numbers and how fast and how great it was, and now they sell the method. An analogy here is like they took an orange, they had an orange, they cut the orange open, they squeezed all of the juice out of the orange, and now they're selling you the orange because they're benevolent, because they're just really wanting to make sure that everyone can do that one same method that worked for them. But the truth is, it can't, because A, they've already oversaturated it, they've already burned burnt out the method themselves. And now they're bringing in hundreds, if not thousands of your competitors selling you the same thing that doesn't work to them. And so they're magnifying the amount of competition that is now in on something that really doesn't work anymore anyways. And that's where they're continuing to fund their greedy lifestyle, is by selling you what used to work doesn't work anymore. Because here's the truth. If it worked for them, they'd keep doing it. You maybe have seen the ads where it's like, oh, just pay my team 10 grand and we'll do everything for you. Why wouldn't they just keep investing their 10 grand over and over and over to scale that like a real business, like a CEO would, like a real business would? It's because there's a flaw in there, and you have to allow these kind of observations to raise a red flag. If all you needed, so this guy boasts his $2.5 million condo and his Lamborghinis, and all he needs is 10 grand from you, and then he could do it again, and you'll keep all the money this time, but he just needs that 10 grand. If he was that minted, wouldn't they just be printing store after store after? Wouldn't they just be executing the strategy over and over? Yes, they would, if the strategy still worked in the way that they're selling you on it working, okay? And the reason why that whole kind of scenario happens is they executed the strategy, it worked for a period of time, they got some screenshots and some data and maybe some testimonial proof, and now that the method isn't working anymore, they abandon the method and they sell the method, and that's where they're making all of the money. And so what happens is you buy into these things thinking it's the greatest thing ever based on their numbers of the way it was, and then you go jump into the system and it doesn't quite work the way they say. But don't worry, they now have the next thing for you to buy because, oh, this is the part that's missing. And they then have the next thing for you to buy. Oh, this is the part that's missing. And all the while they forgot to tell you about how difficult all those learning curves are. Is this hitting home? Does this remind you of something? See, I know this because I was chasing these greedy guru systems for years. And finally, I gave up on all of them. I unsubscribed from all of them and I just started doing the work. I rolled up my sleeves and I started a blog. I started creating helpful content for an audience, and then I stuck with that for years on end, and voila. And that's exactly how this channel's grown, and that's how my 5 other businesses that are generating cash flow have grown. And then number 5, they've stopped being a practitioner and now they're being a coach or a course creator. And this is a big shift that a lot of people go through, okay? So they'll learn how to do what they do in the bartending niche, and they teach bartending, they're selling courses on bartending, and all of a sudden they're a course seller who sells courses on how to sell courses, or they become a coach who coaches coaches on how to coach other coaches. And it just gets really, really meta. And essentially what happens in this, when they make this transition, is they're no longer a practitioner. They're not in the weeds with you and I crafting new offers for new audiences, testing new ads. All they're working on is selling you that thing, right? Selling you their system. That's all they're actually working on. So if their system is supposed to be teaching you how to get XYZ result in your life, they're not actually getting that result over and over for themselves and their clients. All they're really worried about, conversion rates, Facebook ads, bringing new people in, making sure their ad spend is kind of within the range of their profits. And this disassociation with how fast the internet changes, with how fast this marketing game can move, it means that they're coaching you on things that probably used to work. They're coaching you on methodologies that probably used to work, but now the game's kind of in a different place. And really, it's about practitioners. It's about learning from practitioners as one of the biggest keys to ultimately how you can kind of figure this out, because it's people who are in the trenches day in and day out, actually grinding it away, doing the work, not hanging out, leaning on their Lambos, creating new ads and new offers, thinking of that next thing that they can sell you. That's a totally different world. That model works for them at the expense of you. And that's kind of the sad part there. So those are the 5 reasons right there. And they all kind of congeal together into what really ultimately is the greedy guru model. So how do you know if someone's a greedy guru? Well, just look at their actions. Is everything that they're doing always pointing back to a funnel? Is everything that they're doing always pointing back to an offer? Are they only showing up when they have something to pitch? It's an ad and then a webinar and that's it. And they haven't put in the time and the energy to put out hundreds or dozens of hours. Are they willing to teach people freely just to teach people? See, what is greed, right? If you think about greed or the opposite of greed, I think the easiest way to look at it is, are they an educator? Are they a teacher at heart? Or are they something else? Are they just a salesperson? Are they someone who just seems to have a $3-4 million per year lifestyle that they need to uphold? So they just gotta sell. And that's, oh, they just gotta sell, gotta sell. And ultimately, you'll find people who have courses, and some of these courses are valuable. Do they launch it once per year? And here it is, it's open for a couple of weeks. We're bringing in a new enrollment, and away it goes. And then they're back to being a practitioner and helping their students get the results. Or are they just constantly coming up with that next new thing to sell, that next new thing to sell? So they're just constantly selling. It's a webinar, it's an email with an offer, it's a YouTube video masked as a helpful video, but really it's actually an entrance point to a funnel. They're just running ads and funnels. When you see people who all they're doing is ads and funnels, and all they're doing is promoting and pitching and promoting and pitching and webinars and pitching and webinars and pitching, that's it. That's how you know that they're driven by greed, okay? Versus, and there's a lot of people out there on the internet at this point in time. I'm actually really proud to be a part of a community of creators who are really truly here to help you get the result that you desire through putting out heaps of content to really truly help you just be able to type into the search bar up in Google how to start a blog, how to research keywords, how to build a funnel, how to run Facebook. All that stuff is here available for you. It just takes the time and the energy and the perseverance to really dig in and figure it all out. Because the truth is that there is no one ultimate course that you go through, you follow every video, every step, and voila, you have a magical passive income business. There's a learning curve for you to figure out how you, your operating system, you as a human being, your DNA, your past experiences, the education you had growing up, how all of that fits into this world of delivering value to other people through the web. And when you synthesize that together, which it ultimately is synthesized through doing, through actually writing blog posts that are helpful for people, for actually creating YouTube videos that are helpful for people, for actually writing ebooks that you offer as lead magnets or as front end $17 offers, and creating the content, creating the useful and helpful content for people, and then offering it to them through the blog, the podcast, the video. It can be through your email list. You can even offer it in a course. There's a way to be a course seller on this planet successfully without becoming a greedy guru or without being a fake guru. It's all about where your intentions lie. And when your intentions are really focused on helping others get what they want, you are in alignment with long-term success. Now, it's really difficult to create positive changes and outcomes in the lives of other people. Ask me how I know. 675 plus videos on this channel really focus on helping you have everything you need to grow a real business online. And the vast majority, right, the 80-20 or more, the vast majority of people haven't yet taken the first steps. They haven't yet started. They're not on the path. And it's because it's a big unknown path, because it's a big scary world of jumping out into the unknown to start building things without fully understanding how it all goes together. But when you realize that that is the path, and that is actually technically the only path, the only way for you to create success online is to just jump in, start building things. See what clicks, see what works, see what doesn't work, and prepare to spend the next several years of your life staying all in, committed on creating value and offering value in the lives of other people. And when you get that right, you got yourself a business on your hands. Now, the kind of piece to look out for is that there's all these greedy gurus advertising on all the YouTube channels. I don't run ads on my YouTube channel because I don't want to put them in front of you, because I know that they're psychologically persuasive, trying to convince you that there's an easy way. Just there's one thing, you're just missing this one thing. So buy my course on that one thing. And then it doesn't quite work the way they said, because they left out parts of their story, because they already abused that method, but they've got another thing to sell you. And then they've got another thing to sell you. And you get caught up in this weird emotional loop of, oh my gosh, there's this fear of missing out, and there's this other thing I need, and they hype you up with their webinars and their deadline funnels, and if you order right now, it's on a discount and da-da-da-da-da. And then you buy that, and it's a dopamine rush, and then it's a cliff, and then you get in, and it doesn't quite work the way they said. And there's still something missing. But they got something else to sell you to fill in what that's missing, and on and on and on. And that's the greedy guru model. It's shady, it's scary, it's all over here on YouTube, so you need to be aware of it. And ultimately, if you do want to learn how to build a real business online, if you do want to create success for yourself online, you got to jump into the unknown. You got to start building, and just remember that those who create and deliver value in the lives of others are those who are winning online. So you have to become the type of person who creates value in the lives of others, which means you have to have a blog, a self-hosted WordPress blog that you own. If you don't know how to set that up, I have a free tutorial in the description below. And then once you have that, you can run social traffic to it, right? Promote your stuff on social. You can make videos that talk about your cool stuff to link back just like I did in this moment. And you're witnessing an authentic and really kind of, I would say an aligned business here in the way that I'm growing it, because all of my content here on YouTube, you can just go through it freely and go through it on the time that you have, and you will figure out how to build a business online as long as you persevere and stick with it long enough. And I am still growing as an entrepreneur. My business's cash flow is still growing by me putting forth the path for you here freely on YouTube. And that's what I mean that it's in alignment. Our kind of goals are aligned with each other. I want to help 10,000 people create small businesses online so they can become economic engines for their families and their communities. You watching this might actually want to build a real business. Great. Let's get to it. And remember, nothing ever replaces doing the work. They make buying their courses sound like that's the thing to do, like that's somehow the action you need to take in order to become successful. And that's just what they need you to do so they can keep paying for their Lambo and their overpriced lifestyles. What you need to do is to jump into the unknown, start kind of figuring out how all of the pieces fit together by actually putting the pieces together. There's no way around it. I hope this has been helpful. If you've enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments. Give me a thumbs up. I appreciate you. Look forward to connecting with you on the next video. Till we meet again, be well.